have an intro, so I
It
just
is
go.
Wednesday, my dudes.
Oh yes, it is
I am
Wednesday, my
loving.
dudes.
I love that
Nice.
intro, dude.
Yeah, it's a
Yes,
great
yes,
intro.
yes. It's a tradition on this site. I get a lot of memes and stuff from that they do. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and I don't know how it got started with the toad and the screaming, but it's pretty awesome.
It kind of
Gargoyle,
reminds me of Red Gaze or Mandy's Summers like intro. That's metal.
yeah, yeah,
I like it.
yeah, yeah. I love Red K's intro. It's really cool.
Yeah, Red Case with the
Welcome.
dragon.
Hey,
Welcome to Midday
Hey.
Repartee. Joined by my co-host Sim over here. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing awesome.
Nice, nice. Also have
And
special guest
everybody,
today.
Rune
Go
of
ahead.
Rannon is coming back.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Joined today by special guest Unhinged Entertainment, Jason, creator, artist of Absolute. How are you?
Conscious.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I
You've
wake.
been.
No, I mean, I'm not like you. You've been up forever in a day, but I'm up late at night, and I normally wake up at 10:30 anyway for work.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I normally get like 4 to 5 hours of sleep on the weekdays. So, but no, I'm good otherwise, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been pushing pretty hard too. You're promoting your book, and kind of got a week where you can do the circuit that you can't normally do. So you're taking advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Get on streams that I normally can't get on, and that I've been wanting to get on. I think I asked you like months ago or something like a while ago, weeks ago, whatever time frame. Time's relative anyway.
Yeah, dude, I have to admit, I didn't when I got your message, it didn't click for me like who you were exactly.
Yeah.
It took me like seeing you on a different stream, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. And then I realized I backed your project, and it all came back to me. I didn't realize that at first, so I apologize for that.
No apology needed. Dude, how many campaigns are out there? You know what I mean? So, and how many great campaigns are out there on
And
top
how
of
many
it?
people do we get to meet too? That sometimes we,
Yeah.
the names. It's the name. Like as soon as
Yeah.
you see the face or you hear the voice, like I know who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and most people
Mhm.
most people know me because of the beard, so
Right.
that's usually what gives it away for me. But
Yeah, you have your striking appearance. I don't know when it was you were on Red Valkyrie. That was
that was like
while ago.
4 months ago. Yeah,
That's why it took a second to click. Like, oh shit, and I don't think I had seen you since then. Really.
did you back on that stream?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like
Really?
on that day. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Then I owe you an Absolute Valkyrie print, embellished print.
Oh.
damn.
I don't
I
even
gotta
know if I
double
knew
check,
that
man.
was. I don't know if I knew that was going on. I just thought the art.
It
I
doesn't
really liked your
matter.
art style.
No, it doesn't matter if you back during that stream.
Pretty sure I did. Yeah.
I'll double check, man.
Just consider it a trade. He'll send you a Runes of Ragnar comic.
Well, I can't. Nah, man. The deal was if you bet that Valkyrie stream, that first one I was on, because I was on 2 or 3 total, but I was on 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one I was giving away embellished prints of Red Valkyrie. I drew it traditionally, except for the hair. Or I drew it in digital, except for the hair. I colored the hair red, and I printed out, and then I did watercolors over it. And everybody who backed during that stream got a different version of that
Oh,
Red
damn.
Valkyrie. I actually have the trading card here. I just got it in today.
That's really
So-
cool. What a
Yeah,
great
this is
idea
a-
too, man.
This is the trading card, but this is like what they kind of looked like.
Badass.
It's what we saw in the unboxing of Hex, right?
Yeah, that was his version. So yeah, like Death Metal Hero. I don't know if you know who Luke is in Death Metal Hero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got one. It was pretty much black and white. Like even the hair was such a dark red that it was almost black. It was so awesome. But I drew skulls like all over her shirt and in the background and with leather pants. Oh, dude, she was
Yes.
sexy. Yeah,
Nice,
Yeah.
man.
yeah. I'll have to check, man. I think I owe you one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm not going to say no to that for sure. That's a really good idea though. Offering something unique during a specific stream or channel. Like
Yeah.
if you get backers during the show, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I did it a couple times. I did it that one, but the other one I had done a comic book called Cannibal Detective years ago, and it's on Comixology if anybody wants to check it out. It's not my, it was years ago, so my style's different now a little bit. But
Cannibal
better
Detective.
anyway. Yeah, it's on Comixology. Was written by Ivan Infante. He's the one who really created it and stuff. But little pages from that I don't do anything in pencil anymore because of my eyes. So I was like, I'm not doing anything with these. So I did another stream with Shay, and anybody who backed during that got in a drawing to win one of those pages. So so I gave away some original art. I tried to do a little bit something special this campaign. It's my first one, and that way people would get to know me and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, so you're shipping stuff out like to them right away, or are you including it in their package when you fulfill?
See, I kind of should have waited, but the embellished prints I sent right away. I should have waited until fulfillment, but I wanted
that could get expensive. That could like start costing.
Yes, but no. I work in shipping, so
okay.
I could. It was they shipped one. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. And also, I knew I wasn't going to get like 100 backers for that, But I didn't expect as many as I got. To tell you the truth,
you were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I had like 7 or 9 of them to do, man. So I was like, and they were time consuming because each one was different. The watercolor, So they were fun, but after like the 5th one, I'm like, oh man,
what have I done? Yeah. And it's like, I'm sure you probably made some like lifetime fans though. They're never going to forget that,
dude.
Right?
Not only, Leg Kick is definitely one of them. And I think Rick Saylor, really good people. They promote me every time they're in the chat or something. They're good, awesome. All of Siege has been great. But the drawback to that was that I didn't think about till later on. They could refund, and then they have an original piece.
Right? They got a piece of art. That's true. I mean, you can make yourself sick thinking about things like that. It's I mean, ultimately, it's like it's still, even if one or two of them did that, it's still fed into like the energy of the moment. It probably inspired other people to back. I mean, you can't really measure that kind of stuff.
Well, and not only that, people were seeing, like Hex posted it and stuff, but people were seeing that they did get these packages. So it shows people that I do fulfill on my promise that you're going to get it. So
yeah, that's a big part of it, man. That trust is huge.
Yeah.
Gargoyle, I don't know if I introduced you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What is this? What is this avatar I'm looking at?
You don't know?
You don't know?
I mean, I know who it is. I do know. I recognize. He's a celebrity, of course.
You say I'm being sultry seduced here. Look at that.
This is T calling the kettle black. Basically, one day I was looking up Edwin pictures and I found this beauty and I posted it. I was like, wait a minute. This guy talks about ComicsGate being cult-like and
he's a Mason.
And war camp. And here he is proudly being a Mason. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it comes with its advantages. For sure.
Yes, it does.
Talking about people being caught red-handed, I don't know if this is appropriate time,
hypocrite.
but you heard about the big Hunter Biden scandal yesterday that nobody's talking about right now.
Which one?
The what?
The laptop that was turned into the FBI.
That's been floating around for like a week or so, hasn't it?
What is it?
But there was...
Yeah, what?
They found child porn in it, and they found messages to Joe about how Hunter had feelings to a 14-year-old girl and was walking around naked and was being lewd around a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, man.
I do that around 40-year-old men.
That's the show, folks.
We're done.
Fuck, I did it.
Oopsie, did
Gargoyle's like the master of just taking something to its darkest possible place. Like, boom, in under 5 seconds. Doesn't take long.
I didn't hear about it.
I don't know.
Let's see if the stream is still on.
Do we? It's these people. It's so ludicrous at this point. I just don't care. It's like then you have to get into, depending on where you're at with media and all this shit, it's like how much of it is even real, how much of it is theater, how much of it is just there to like get reactions. But I mean, it's undeniable. These people aren't to be looked up to. They're not leaders.
Right.
They don't deserve our respect.
I like what Atch said there in answer to what you're saying is you gotta have faith in the fans, and I think that's one of the things that's important here. And that's one of the things in CG is that it's the best way of giving back, right? It's like they're trusting you to produce your project. They believe in your dream, so they invest money in you. So you have to trust in them too.
Yeah, that's why Rod's working back on Runes of Ragnar.
Yep.
Dude, you ran a successful campaign. All of you fuckers. The
got
first
the right
campaign's
people on the
already
side,
happened.
too.
I bought it, guys. It's over. Fuck.
It's
I'll do
coming. Dude, we even confirmed it right before the show. We even talk about what's gonna be happening technically. So yeah.
No, it's an interesting full circle kind of moment because it's just, I'm not gonna lie, it's something in my life that is simultaneously really proud of this thing that happened, that I achieved, that I got this book published with Image, and but it was also like one of the most heartbreaking things that I've been through because it just didn't succeed, it didn't take off, it didn't
got
happen,
canceled.
and I had to like, my life had to shift, and I had to go take a normal jobby job type thing, and I lost kind of that passion for making comics. And then, here we are, all these years later, ComicsGate, Runes of Ragnar has a chance to come back. It's like, it's a whole new chance, and I'm in a different place mentally. I'm, hopefully a little more mature.
And now Runes of Ragnar is not just having a chance to come back.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
Nice. So thanks, Sky. I mean, I appreciate it. Again, ComicsGate, like you're saying, it's what can you say about it? It's a great group of people. There's like anything, there's shit storms of drama going on, but even that can be pretty entertaining at times.
Go get your copy right now on Amazon while you still can, because it's going to be continued very goddamn soon.
Yes, that's right. Hatch, yeah, you're right. These nutcases want to decriminalize pedophilia, and I actually put out a video kind of under the radar. I didn't really promote it much, but it, kind of talking about the whole cuties thing and like why. I think people are really baffled as to why does there seem to be all this backing and support of this agenda to do this, and it's like
I'm more baffled why it exists.
But they used to always be there, but they used to live in hiding, and with everything going around right now, it's and I can't support it. I am a kid. I did go through some stuff like that when I was a kid, so
right.
I fought back. There's a reason why I was living on my own at 15.
Yeah, let's be fair with Cuties. Cuties is a weird one because the film crew was all female. The director was a Muslim woman, and her intention was to criticize the whole sexuality and maturity. The execution was awful at it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's not justifiable. We don't need a cautionary tale about sexually exploiting children. Like it's a universal given. Everybody knows this. Everybody understands it. We don't need it. We don't need a fucking movie trying to teach us a moral lesson about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's not just men that do those bad things.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
Yeah,
it isn't. But we do.
Women who are
as predatory
trafficking children.
The thing, like, I don't know that people really understand, like, just how, in terms of the world and how it functions, especially at the upper levels of power and wealth and all this shit. It's people are they're compromised. Most people at the higher levels are completely compromised, and that's the only way they can be trusted by the other people at their level. Everyone's compromised at those levels, typically. Okay, so like this is why if you're, and this could go back to just homosexuality, just being gay, right? There was not that long ago. if it came out that you were gay, that could be devastating to your life, to your career, right?
Yeah,
That's been changed.
That was what, in the 70s, 80s,
you have to
early
understand-
80s?
Exactly.
Like-
It's not that long ago. So you would think if you're one of these people that you're being blackmailed essentially, you're being controlled because of this thing you don't want the public to know. Maybe if you have wealth and power, maybe you start using that wealth and power and influence to try and shift the consciousness of the people, right? The masses. And I think that's what's going on again with this pedophilia thing. You've got people that are under the thumb, they're being blackmailed, they're being controlled because of this dark secret, and they're pouring money into it. They're investing in things like cuties, they're investing in shit to try and break the consciousness down to where they don't have to hide anymore. And I think that's really the driving force behind it. And I don't know if that helps people like come to terms with why it's going on. And I don't know. It's so fucked up.
I don't think there's a way to understand why it's going on because, like you said, it's baffling. I don't get it. It's inconceivable to me why anybody would even promote it or endorse it. It's like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's one of those. Yeah, it is one of those things. For me, I'm not a religious person, but it does. It's the kind of thing that makes me really step back and go, wow, we really are in a spiritual war here. And it always has been. But things like that, I think, bring it into focus in a way that it's just kind of undeniable to me. That this is literally good versus evil spiritual warfare. And if we let it, it's this ongoing cycle from puritanical to everything's okay. It seems like we just keep cycling through that.
And isn't it weird that there's a whole bunch of people that kind of like mysteriously committed suicide or stuff like that were fighting that type of children in Hollywood abuse stuff,
right?
Isn't it weird that the hashtag Me Too became a thing when all those kids were coming out trying to get all the evidence, get protected? Remember?
Oh, right, yeah.
All those child actors. There was a whole, and then hashtag Me Too happened, and then you never heard about that again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those rabbit holes you can get sucked down into, and it can really mess with your head. It's
like the hashtag.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the hashtag thing. I've only been on I've been on Twitter since 2010, but I've only been on Twitter for 5 months. So
I only started it because of this channel and ComicsGate. So maybe since last November.
Yeah, so I really haven't seen too much of that, mainly because I had it in 2010 because my ex-wife had Twitter, and so I had Twitter. But I just posted my Instagram photos to it. I never logged in,
right.
So I never really you saw some Me Too stuff on Facebook and some of those stories, but it wasn't as bad. Like Twitter's a cesspool, so.
Oh man, you can really just.
Well,
the thing with Twitter is just use it as a tool. Promote other people, promote yourself, engage in positive conversation. If you want it, don't get in arguments with people on Twitter.
Yeah, and that was pretty much my tip. When I scroll, I mainly look for things that have artwork or if I know comic skaters, so if I see a promotional campaign, I'll look at that. But if I don't see artwork or a funny cat gif, I keep going. I'm
right. Yeah. I mean, there are, it's not to say I do value people like, Ethan Van Sciver. He still puts time into going at the SJW bullshit. I think it can be leveraged to create entertainment on your platforms if you want to engage it and leverage it that way. And,
and it is also, it's good to know. It isn't, it is good to understand, know what's going on. But don't let it control your life. Don't let it be the focus.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, I just think Ethan does his for entertainment purely. He doesn't go through the whole dark drama.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. And it is. Yeah. It can be very entertaining. And he knows how to do it. He does it well. I mean, how many times have we watched this guy, in very intense, awkward situations on a stream or whatever? He does so well at disarming people and
that's also because
staying controlled.
He's never been dishonest, and they're trying to catch him in being dishonest. So you can't catch someone in doing something they're not doing.
Right. That's the number one way to avoid being blackmailed, right? Is just don't do the shit. Don't do the bad shit.
Yeah, the coin thing. Like, he'll even be like, "Look, I even said to everybody, I will refund you." Like, he like, and then he'd be like, "Oh, well, you should have refunded." He's like, "I did. What are you guys talking?" Like, and that's just one instance. So he was never dishonest, and he's never been. But people don't look into anything. They don't read anything. They just. I even had this thing before anything. I posted something on Facebook of a Cyberfrog panel. She was Heather Swain was wearing a Tool shirt. I'm a big Tool fan. I got a Tool tattoo on my hand. Nice. So I'm like, this is I put EDS officially became my favorite artist. Dude, I got attacked instantly. Like, how can you support a Nazi? Yeah. Like, I heard he was a Nazi. I'm like, you heard. You didn't investigate anything. You heard things. I'm like, you don't have any proof of anything. And this was somebody who was a Facebook friend. She lives in England, but she's a Facebook friend for a long time. She's an artist, and all of a sudden, boom, instantly attacked, blocked. I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Like, I like Heather Swain's shirt. I'm like,
how would one go about being a Nazi anyway? Like, how does that benefit your life in any way, shape, or form?
And not only that, I told people, if he's the worst Nazi I've ever seen.
What's that?
Yeah, the worst thing is that the one acting like them is the one calling the other ones. It's
big time.
It's one of the first thing you want to do that you do when you want to like kind of like subvert people. It's you change definition of words. You overuse a word so it becomes meaningless, right? So if you're trying to point them out, right? Hey, you got a wolf there, right? Everybody knows a wolf is a big scary monster, but if you reduce it to it's not that scary, then the wolf part loses all definition. So this is what's happening with Nazi and all those type of thing. Because if you're looking at it, the one actually wanted to cancel people, wanted to control people, are the ones calling other people Nazi, the word that means that, which is,
yeah. And what a great! I love how language always plays tricks and kind of
it's the first thing
revealing
to attack,
things. Because Nazi to me is so funny because it, phonically when you hear it, it sounds like not see and meaning like you can't see.
Yourself?
You're blind. You can't see. So like, and I think the play there is Nazis can never see that they're Nazis. Like they're blind to the fact that they are that thing. And I think that the irony here is that the people making these accusations are actually the ones who cannot see. They are the Nazis. They're the ones displaying fascist
and by controlling
attributes.
language, and by changing and controlling language, they control your expression. You cannot express yourself. You cannot fight. You cannot do any of this. So you become violent, and then they use the fact that certain groups are becoming violent to impose control. Well, it's the same pattern all the time.
Yeah. And that's something EVS really good at. He doesn't lose his cool, and he doesn't lash out. And this is actually something, like I said, I'm a fan of Pantera, and there was a recent one actually where he got drunk and people were calling him pretty much, a Nazi.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and he did the white power thing just to egg him on, to be like, you know what, fine, you guys think I am, here you go. And he even said later on, he's like, you know what, I'm not that. I regret that. I was so He's like, they were egging me on. I got mad and I gave in to them. And he's like, yeah, he's even stated, and you can look into it. You can do research. He's done so much for his community that there's no way this dude, like maybe who knows, maybe in his early 20s or teens or something. I don't know. I don't know the dude back then, but it's like. It's only whenever you lash out and give them what they want, that's when they have the ammunition, even if you're not what they say you are. And it's a demonizing thing. And even in college, back in, this is 20 years ago, I can't remember what presidents were running at the time, but everybody's like, oh, he's Hitler. And my teacher's like, look, you know who's Hitler? Hitler was Hitler. Yeah. That's it. It's like, you can't compare somebody to that, such evil and atrocious things that person did just because they have a viewpoint. Yeah.
All I was going to mention is the Pantera show. Confederate flag meant nothing. Black people were wearing Confederate flags on a fucking Pantera show.
Dude, I've seen tough, big tough black guys in the pit just destroying. So you can't tell me. It's just comics are mainly a white male group. Metal is kind of a white male thing. It just really is. But it's not like other people don't like it. It's just it just for some reason draws that crowd.
And it's not like we don't like black metal artists. It's just there's not many. And dude, when Prodigy came in, dude, that was freaking awesome.
Look at Seven Dust.
Seven Dust. Yeah.
Terra.
Living Color was fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. Killswitch Engage, Howard Jones.
Yeah. But and that's
like we don't give a fuck. We just want quality.
Right. And to me, you know what? I think that's one thing is that metalheads are really more down to earth, genuine, kind, and accepting of more other people than almost anyone else. At least in what I've seen and come across.
Yeah. Right.
They know their rage. They know anger. So they control it more. So they're a bit more level-headed when it comes to
more accepting.
Yeah, that's fast. That is interesting. Yeah, kind of the opposite of what people might think.
But it's also a sense of humor thing too. But
right, you brought up. I remember back in the day, I was pretty big into Rob Zombie. Not so much. I think musically, he's completely fallen off a cliff. Like
God,
new stuff. I can't even
White
listen to it.
Zombie was a lot better.
White Zombie was the shit. But I remember going. The first time I went to see Zombie in concert, and then went to buy the T-shirt, and it's fucking badass artwork on the front, and I was just stoked about it, and I get the thing, and then of course I turn it around, and it's like the entire back is a fucking pentagram and is Satan shit all over the back. I'm like, I can't wear this. Can't wear this out in public.
Dude,
but for him, it's like a humor thing. I don't think he takes any of it seriously.
I'm gonna look for a shirt here that I have, but I had a shirt, a long sleeve. It was a Rob Zombie shirt, and it said "Satan is my effing co-pilot."
Dude, that's the shirt the friend I was with got it, and it had pentagrams all the way down the sleeves too, I think.
Yeah, dude, that shit was awesome.
He's like, we're both like, oh shit, I can't wear this anywhere.
Yeah, I wore it so much that it just fell apart, and so regrettably I don't have it, but I don't know if I'll be able to find this. It's not that important. It's an old school White Zombie shirt with artwork on the front of it that I would love to show off. It's from the 90s, man, and then my brother had it, and I kind of inherited it, but I can't find it right now. It's not important. But yeah, dude. But once again, though, you had artwork and music and acceptance. It's just and humor. To me, that's something that's lost these days. And one reason, not the main reason, but it's a reason why everybody's attacking all these people. It's like half the time, like EVS even said, like the misogynistic, sexist jokes. They're jokes. He doesn't really mean them. So all the time, like who even add that all the time? That's a joke.
Right.
It's like
it can't. Yeah, you can't. I mean, comedy is so reliant on those nuances and like understanding. Like comedy is really one of the number one casualties of everything that's gone on in the last decade with all of this PC bullshit. It's like comedy is almost like it's on life support. It's just about dead.
I mean, historically, Richard Pryor did the first kind of R-rated comedy show for everybody during the Berkeley riots. He actually brought unity to everybody through laughter.
Dude, look at Don Rick. No way Mr. Warmth would go over today with the type of humor he did.
Right.
It's like Raw. It's like Eddie Murphy Raw, or when they went after Chappelle the last time. They went after Chappelle. Chappelle literally looked at him like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. The majority of the comedians that are like, they don't care. They're just like, yeah, whatever. It's a joke. Shut up. Bill Burr, great instance. I love Bill Burr. He's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the comedians really have to stand up to it because
I'm also a big fan of Chiselnik. That guy, that guy's
well, dark humor. I love it. Well, there's some people who are become base because they realize, man, my kids aren't me. They're not going to be accepted in the community like I was because they're rich. They don't look at them because they're mixed. There is that logic there. Trust me.
you see a lot of these kids that are louder and don't act right, and you look at their families, and it's because, you know, they're being bullied because their mom or dad is not the same color. They're mixed.
Or not rich.
Right.
Or rich, have too much money, go to a private school, you know.
Yeah.
It's either or. You can't win.
Nope. There's always something that people will pick on you for, unless you stand your ground. Like, as soon as you start like with the victim mentality, you will be picked on all the time.
Dude, yeah, I was a short, fat kid, you know. So what did I do? I made fun of myself.
Yeah.
I made fun of myself, and you know what? And if they can't, I was making fun of myself. They couldn't make fun of me because I'm already making fun of me. So they didn't have any ammunition, you know.
And when
it's like.
And when I had, you know, I did the same thing, and then at a certain point, I got into training. I did some martial arts. I did this, and after that, you can understand that when they try something with you and you pin them down in less than 5 seconds, they leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah. I had Asperger's syndrome, so I was an easy target for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's regrettable, but the thick skin, I think, makes more character, and it builds you mentally as you get older. Like back then, yes, torturous growing up that way, and you know, at the time you wish you wouldn't go through it, but once you, like now, I'm glad I went through that crap, you know. It made me who I am today.
It's weird. Say I wouldn't change it for the world. It made me who I am. Even the bad shit, even the really bad shit, I'm like, dude, I would not be the person I am today, so I can't say, like, you can't regret that shit. You know, that's how you understand that never regret thing. It's not regretting stupid shit you've done. It's don't regret that you've been through it, because it's what made you, you know, it's the follow through that makes the man, right? I've always said that. It's like you react to something bad happens, sometimes you go in anger, sometimes that, but it's your follow through that really defines who you are.
Right.
Being graceful.
Yeah, for sure.
But and at the same time, it made me a hermit in a way, and it developed my artwork a lot more. So it kind of
same here. Same here. I'm an hermit too.
You mentioned
I need to go to the post office. Oh, I'll go tomorrow.
You mentioned your tool tattoo. I thought this was pretty funny, man.
That's fucking cool. I like that fucking
tattoo ever. It is. It's badass.
And then great.
And then you read it. You're like, best tattoo until you have Bruce Lee jerking you off for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's a Hulk one too. There's a Hulk one with the guys having the Hulk fist going up like that way or something. Yeah.
It's really cool concept. I like it.
Yeah,
but
Hulk smash.
Right.
That would be a nice Elvira tattoo, though.
There you go. That gives a new definition, though, to the one-stroke punch.
Yes.
So I was curious if you guys think that Jackson would approve of this. What do you think? Michael
Jackson would laugh his ass off and probably sue him if he made too much money. But other than that, funny as hell.
That's good.
Yeah. I remember seeing an Elvis impersonator stormtrooper. This is better.
Elvis impersonator stormtrooper. Wow. Okay.
There was this guy who always went to San Diego Comic-Con. Wore Star Wars outfit, dressed up as Elvis too.
Send that to Edwin Diaz. He's a big wrestling fan. He's gonna love this shit, and WCW needs to be recruiting that guy.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
I want to see him like flip somebody and yell like "Shaman!" with that little Bruce Lee type of like flick of his finger. Come on, and say "Shaman!"
Yes.
I'd pay money to see this shit. Come on.
You remember the video game Michael Jackson? I can't remember that. It was
Yeah,
based off of
Moonwalker.
Yeah, Moonwalker, dude. That game was awesome. I remember every time I walk by the arcade, like that's what you just.
That's one of the first pieces I did, because when I first worked on Not the Merc, right? It was in college. It was supposed to be an animated, and I did a big wink. One of the scenes was it was out of the Moonwalker scene, and you saw Michael Jackson walking down behind Nat.
That's cool.
And that's when you had the big boobarama behind. Has nothing to do with it, but it was just fun because it was trying to do a wink, right? So you had Michael Jackson walking with the moonwalk type of thing with his head down, and you had Bender next to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good stuff.
It was a cool movie from back then. Like, we don't hear about it. But, yeah,
it was pretty amazing during its time. I admit that.
Yeah, my lady and I tried to watch that documentary. What is it? This
I
is
heard
it or
about
something.
It. Yeah,
it was like we're just.
Me, I don't believe it. I had a nice conversation with Macaulay Culkin when I was younger, and let's leave it at that. When my mom wanted me to be a child actor.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So
He
came to town, and they used to have ask like kids to come play with them. They're like chill with those actors. Yeah, and you had a nice conversation.
Well, you were put in a grooming center.
They tried.
Good thing they didn't fool you.
Yep, they didn't. And I'm very glad that my mom saw through it early too.
Did you guys? What is that channel? They do movie reviews and stuff. They've got
Comics to Movies.
The
Red Cup. No, that's the other guy. Red Letter.
Yes, Red Letter Media.
What about
Macaulay Culkin actually teamed up with them for a little while and was doing shit with them. It was funny as hell. And I was kind of impressed by it just because, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's just been through the meat grinder, man. Obviously things went down. It's Hollywood. A lot of weird shenanigans went down. He was in one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Do you remember that he ended up emancipating himself from his family with the Hollywood support? Yeah. All that shit. Yeah. It's not all it was pumped up to be.
And he's like basically, without outright saying it, he shouted it from the mountaintops.
Yes.
In his way about what went down.
Yes.
And yet he's willing to go on this Red Letter Media YouTube channel, work with these guys. They're big in terms of YouTube, but they're nothing, compared to what he has done. But he still has a sense of humor about himself, about everything that's gone down. It's like, that's just human, like, I don't know. It's kind of impressive.
Out of curiosity, isn't part of that have to deal with his finances? His parents were like taking a lot of his salary.
Probably.
That he didn't have all the control of his money, so he wanted all control because they were going to do this. But it also ended up that he was primed up by the big guys in Hollywood. So because when you do that, you become an adult. Get it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
I was emancipated at 15, and I have all the same rights as a fucking adult. So I could sign my own papers out of school. My late thing. I'm legally an adult. Get it?
Yep.
Got it. Right. That's frightening.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Let's not get into details, but that's what I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think he didn't get paid shit for the first Home Alone. I mean, and that movie made some people very, very wealthy. He didn't make anything off that.
That's what happened to that kid from Home Improvement, the youngest brother from the show. And he married some old lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elder women in Hollywood that like them young. Let's leave it at that.
And there's also those gay actors that have fag hags.
Damn. That's Gargoyle coming into a fucking live stream.
Yeah, on this show, he outdid himself. He dropped 2 nukes.
It got dark in here all of a sudden. Oh, Gargoyle's here. That's fine. That's to be expected. This one's for Donald DeLay, too. Man, this man has a passion about no pineapple on pizza.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I agree.
You agree? I don't know.
Yep.
Why is this hatred for pineapple on shit?
It's
I
not
love
hatred.
pineapple on
Dude,
shit.
why is it hatred if I don't like it? I just don't like
There's
it.
a lot
It's
of
like,
there's some
dude,
passionate
I like I love
adamant
peanut
people.
butter. I love chocolate. I do not like Reese's Pieces.
Oh wow.
All right, I'm out.
I don't like it
I
mixed.
gotta
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
It
really
just
don't
tastes.
like
That
peanut
nobody
butter?
tastes the same thing. You know this, right? We all taste
Yeah, of
things a bit
course.
differently.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, but there are some very adamant people about the pineapple on pizza thing. Like, I'm either way. I don't care. To me, it tastes
Yeah.
fine. I don't go out of my way to get it. If it's there, maybe I'll try it. But
Means because I don't like pineapple. Period. I just like dried pineapple. That's it.
so you get along with
Yeah,
pineapple.
dude, that shit's good though. I can't argue with that.
I don't like
That pineapple is good.
I don't like
Yeah.
day old chicken.
The old chicken. What's that?
I don't
A
know.
Dale.
Donald's kind of just made a whole thing about the food thing on Twitter. It's like an ongoing thing. I don't know if he actually cares or it's just become a kind of a shtick.
I remember the pineapple war.
It's just to avoid politics. It's avoid talking about Donald Trump. It's avoid talking about Joe Biden.
It's the same thing when I did the fight with the duck there, and we used to tweet it often. When people were fighting everywhere, we used to pick stupid fights between our characters.
Oh,
You know,
right.
it's a type of changing the. It's like, dude, we're fed up of seeing all that shit in fighting, so we're making fictional characters fight.
Yeah, you're changing up the format. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I thought we could talk a little bit about Star Wars today. I don't.
So
have,
41
I
minutes
don't-
to actually reach the subject of today. Got it. It's
Yeah.
not bad though.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad. I don't know. We start having fun, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a.
Oh, I'm
topic.
not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
yeah,
and for
there's a topic.
those in the chat, if you can,
Yeah, exactly.
Give the video a like and share it out, and get some more eyeballs in here. We are going to be delving into a really badass comic book project by
Wreck Planet looks
Unhinged.
great. Oh wait, no, me. Oh yeah.
So it'd be nice to have some eyeballs in here to check that out. Such a cool project, and I definitely think there is an audience here that maybe doesn't know about your book. So hoping some more people show up. Maybe there's some other live streams going on because it seems especially quiet today. But I'm not
Let me
sure.
check. I'm tweeting now. Hold on a sec.
I tweeted
Tweeting.
it out, but like 15 minutes in because somebody kept me late. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, Chris.
Yeah, freaking Chris.
Yeah.
He was a half hour late, so I would have been off a half hour sooner. So
And he tried to blame that on me, dude.
yeah,
all.
yeah, he did. He tried to pass the buck. Yeah, see, with Star Wars, like I'm not like Anna or EDS where I'm so like ingrained in it, but I'm a
Right.
Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm 40, but like I don't know everything about the cartoons or or I know the books aren't canon anymore, but like I do know, in my opinion, I think, and I don't know if anybody read it, but from Dark Horse they did Dark Empire.
Oh, dude, that was
That
fucking
should've-
good. It should have been the sequel.
That should have been the last trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it was all laid out. It was the story was perfect. You had everything there. That's what it should have been, and it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and when you saw the first movie, it saw a hint that it was heading in maybe in a possible direction, right?
Yeah,
With the Luke all depressed and stuff like that, you were having a hope that it was gonna maybe hit in that general direction, right?
Yeah.
That he went too far to the dark side. That's why he went like that. No, nah.
Nope. Yeah.
Dude, it's a trap. I came out of that movie, dude, and I did a freaking digital painting of Luke Skywalker in a dark robe with the green and red lightsaber, and I'm like, this is what we should have got.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, just like turning back the clock a bit, when Star Wars when it just became this phenomenon, right? And I know there wasn't a whole lot when it came to like the toys and merchandising. It wasn't like all pre-planned. It was the way the toys came about. I can't remember why I know this, but I think there was some documentary or something about it. But you know, it was kind of a last second thing, and it was really rushed, and it wasn't like anybody knew it was going to be this thing. But once that happened, once it became Star Wars, right? Do you think it really just, I don't know, changed what film meant or what it was? Because all of a sudden it became like, whoa, if you do this right, you can have this huge multi-billion-dollar merchandising thing going on. Like, then they start planning it in advance, and like it just changed everything.
What Star Wars pulled was technically, because remember, that's one of the things I always bring up. It's that movie came out of experimental movies, right? Like the Charlie Chaplin and the Buster Keaton stuff. You know, it's always a thing. It's like every time of like entertainment medium, right? Everybody comes in and try to reproduce the same recipe when there's a hit. Then you end up with a plateau. You plateau, right? You can't do nothing. Then there's a little project that comes out of experimenting or independent that goes, booyah! And it's always the same thing. Ninja Turtles, the Metal Hurlant that became Heavy Metal Magazine, the Fantastic Four. Like something becomes stagnant, and then somebody goes, you know what? I'm just gonna go crazy and experiment. Like no rules. I'm just gonna have fun. And that's when they hit. Mobius was the same. That's how those people all made it, and it's always been the same thing.
And you do realize everything you just mentioned turned to crap.
Right.
But that's the thing, because they become stagnant.
Well, as far as merchandising,
or you get people coming in going revamp. Let's do this, let's do that, and then you killed the thing because you lost that's the thing with Star Wars. They lost the main essence that it was. It was like, you may have a gift, like no matter what the gift is, right? The Force was that. You might have an intuition gift, no matter what it is. But if you want to own it, zone it. You need to train. You need to own it, so you can become the best there is at it, and maybe change that world that you want to be part of. It's technically like the general message of Star Wars, and they fucked it up.
Right.
Now it's a Mary Sue's, like anybody could do it. Now a kid turns around and picks a freaking broom without even having any training. I'm sorry. You're supposed to have it. The rule of Star Wars, like it gives you intuitive, like like heightened sense or something until you trained it. As the
first movie was, like Anakin in the episode 1 even had just intuition. Like that was really all he had. It's not like he was moving objects with his mind.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right.
It's reflexes, those type of things.
Yeah.
Just feels like, that organic kind of
now it's magic
thing happening with films or whatever it might be it's just completely gone. It's like now they plan a trilogy. They plan to have all this merchandising and things linked to it, and it's all interwoven together like one big plan. Right. Before they even know if it's a hit, before they even know if people even give a shit about it. And it's like I think Star Wars kind of, as much as I love and love that feeling of it from my youth, and I still have that connection to the original movies. It's like, dude, what Star Wars kind of created was a monster in my mind, it's still that ripple effect is still happening.
A fun thing, if I'm a big movie buff and I studied movies, right? And one of the things that's funny, it's if you ever watched the documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune, right? This predates Star Wars. It predates, all those big sci-fi movies. And he's the one that recruited all those people, Mobius, Geiger, all them that ended up after that when that movie got canceled. They went, and they're the ones that made Star Wars, Aliens, all those freaking like sci-fi, like market-changing movies came out of that little attempt that was a failure. It's one of the things that when people ask me for my campaign, how did you deal with that failure? It was not a failure because it led to something else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, and the other thing with Star Wars is they have the wrong, obviously they have the wrong people helming it. They don't have the people that are passionate about Star Wars. They have the people that are passionate about the money of Star Wars.
Yep.
So
correct.
It's now just
more passionate about an
movie
agenda at this point because they
and that's the other thing too. Like Anna's even said, give me Star Wars. Yeah, and I'm all for that. Give her Star Wars. She'll make it amazing because she's a fan. She's passionate. She loves it. It's something she genuinely cares about. Like, when the movies came out, I was like, wow, this is not good. I don't like it. I wasn't as horribly distraught as everybody else. But that's also because, like, I like Star Wars, but I'm not, like, that passionate about it. I'm more passionate about about comic books and stuff like that. And, of course, they're ruining that, too. But it still was detrimentally horrible. I'm like, this is trash. My nephew, who's 12, could write a better script and have it be more in faithful with the actual faith of Star Wars. Like you even said, the Force went through like 3 different changes. It's like it shouldn't go through any. It was it was first the Force, then it was like midichlorides, then it was magic. It's like what am I doing? What's going on?
And Disney has completely destroyed all sense of consistency with the Force and what it can do and can't do. The absurdity levels of it. I mean, pulling physical objects from insane distances through it.
The
healing powers. It's
dude,
like
the midichlorian thing, right? Remember that was in the prequels, right?
Right.
The way I grew, like the first time I heard it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Right?
Everybody said
the first time you're like, what the fuck?
I think then it made obviously sense. Lucas.
No, it made sense to me after, because then you start seeing that the point of the first one was to show you the corruption, how bad that they were at each extreme. Like the Jedi were so do-gooders that they were technically the SJWs, and I was like, you're not allowed to feel, you're not allowed to this, you're not allowed to this, but you have to be absolutely like this. And then you had the opposite, over there, and then they had a way of seeing themselves as gene. They were like they have a special gene. That's how I started seeing it at the end. Like they saw themselves as this, they're special because they have the special gene that makes them Jedis. And then if you go to the other one, Obi-Wan explains a new way of seeing it, which is the true way. It's that Yoda did the same thing, and even Yoda said it. We were misguided before. Yeah. So it made sense still, but the magic one,
I get that.
Fuck off.
Right. Yeah, I see that. It kind of shifted it from like a royal bloodline to that not being. And I'm fine with that. That's not a problem. That doesn't sink the ship.
So it still made sense. You understand what I mean? In a way, it's still
respect for it though. You didn't have to explain it.
Leave it a mystery. That's why it was cool.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, I always viewed them as samurai. Not like that's how like the original trilogy. To me, that's what Jedi were. They were like samurai.
Well, based off
as the classic Knights of Honor, the Knights of Honor type of like.
Mm-hmm. Like that's how I always viewed them, and then everything else happened, but whatever. And that's the thing. Like you could look at
it's King Arthur in space.
Yeah, but you could look at the first.
He pulled out the sword. He pulled out the sword of the.
But you can look at the first trilogy and like the original episodes 1 through 3. They have some at least redeeming qualities. You know, as bad as the acting was in a lot of them, and the plot lines were just whatever. I mean, you also had purple lightsaber. Come on, that's cool. But it still was some good parts to it. There's almost no redeemable qualities in it. It's virtually.
I would say there are none. There really aren't.
I like
almost none.
Fights.
They're so bad. They were so poorly conceived. Like the choreography, people have broken down the fights.
That red room scene was shit.
Yeah.
The guy flips out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not that it didn't look like the initial reaction to it is like, oh, this is Star Wars and it looks cool. It's visually compelling. But then you pay attention to it just a little bit and it's like, whoa, there's so many mistakes in this.
And the worst part, fucking Luke Skywalker, we wait 30 years to watch Luke Skywalker drink out of a fucking alien tip.
Oh, God.
And produce a fucking cross-galaxy fucking hologram. He fucking did what fucking current fucking rappers do.
Right. Yeah, dude. All of that. It's so horrible. I don't understand, like, why couldn't Disney, in my opinion, they had this incredible idea. The story of a stormtrooper waking up from his programming and going on a journey of becoming a human fucking being. That's your trilogy. That's the story. What are they doing? Like, they had the idea was right in front of them. It was beautiful.
Oh, did you see Finn came out and admitted finally to everybody, they fucked him over. They fucking
Oh, he knows it. Absolutely. I was token black guy. He's come out and said it. He lived it. He has to go through it. Most of the people in these Disney Star Wars films have had to overcome it. Not only did it not help their career, they've had to overcome it. And some of them might never overcome it. It might just ruin their career.
Yep.
That's not what Star Wars is supposed to do to you as an actor. Now, the one dude is such a badass, it doesn't matter. Isaac or whatever, he's so good.
Mark Hamill was fucking vocal about it in the beginning, and they fucking shut him up, though. He was still being a bit, like, passive-aggressive, cocky, but... Because, you know, he's our Mark Hamill, right? We all expect him to still be, like, a bit cocky and, like, little pun there, but they shut him up pretty good because he was very fucking vocal about it, that this is not my Luke.
Like I think George Lucas even still had it laid out, and they tossed it. Like that's when Kathleen Kennedy just like, no, we're going to do what we want to do. And once again, like not only did you have Dark Empire already, but George Lucas had something already in mind. Why? Once again, it's about a political agenda, and it just stands on who we are. Oh, we're everybody.
It's women's the future now. That's the thing. It's like before all this thing. It started with the big bad third wave feminism, PC culture, third wave feminism.
I think there's got to be like hubris involved too, where these gigantic multi-billion-dollar studios and corporations just think. It doesn't matter what we put. We could put literal dog shit in front of people if we pump enough money into the marketing and hype it up enough and have enough names attached. People are gonna just fucking love it. And it's like,
don't you think it's weird that the side that used to be against political control and corporations control, right, are now the one pushing them for control of everything? Don't you think just that? It's kind of fucking weird. You're supposed to... You want more corporate control and more governmental control in your life. That's not what the left used to be. What the fuck's happening?
It's so weird.
It's all a ruse.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It just feels like there's no way to, like, go back, because I just wish, like, movie studios and filmmakers... I wish people would I wish they'd go back to like, well, let's just make a really good movie. And if people respond to it, if it generates a fan base and a response, then we will move from there. Instead of like going all in, like we're planning there's going to be 9 movies and it's like they go in with this idea of it already. And it's like, just make one solid
But that's the thing.
piece of art. And if people like it, then build on it. But you can't go back to that because people are like, it's got to be the next Star Wars. It's got to be the next this. It's like, fuck off.
It comes from those people that think that just because they say that there's something they don't need to train, they don't need to be good. So they don't need to do any hard work because it's a Star Wars title. They know we just need to do it and people will come. And that's not how it works.
It's not. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, this is one great thing about what we're doing here is it's about the fans. So if the fans don't like it, they're not going to back it. And you're like, okay, well, I could try it again. And if it fails again, you're like, what do the fans want? You can engage them. You can ask them, but like, what am I doing wrong? Can I gear it? It's the fans have control for the most part because they're voting with their dollar. And now, like with movies, you can't do that. You can't vote Disney with your dollar because they're going to make money no matter what almost. And even if they make only like $2 million more than what the movie cost, guess what? They just made $2 million. So they're going to make money with CG, with crowdfunding, with all this stuff. If the fans don't like it, they don't like it, but they'll let you know why. And then you can listen, you can take the feedback, and you can make a better product.
Yep.
And that's what it should be about. It's about the people that want the product, not the people making the product. It's like, yeah, I have a story I want to tell, but if people don't want to hear it, then I got to make it so they do. It's about them. It's not about anything else.
Yeah, man. And I like that you brought it back into what we're doing here, because I was just going to say, it's like, in terms of everyone always trying to make the next Star Wars or the next huge thing. It's like if everyone in CG only wanted to make the next Cyberfrog, right? Only wanted to have the next $1 million CG campaign. If that was if that's all you were thinking about doing, it would lead to shit projects. It really would, because it's not coming from a place of authenticity. It's not coming from that where real good art always comes from, which is like Sim mentioned, experimenting. You're being experimental. You're taking risks, and it's something that you need to do it. You need to put it out in the world, and it's not just because you want to have the next big thing. So I think it's so destructive to come at art with that mentality. It never works.
Yeah, and like my book, I kind of did it like a Sin City type thing, because if people like it, great, I can keep doing it. If it doesn't do well in the next book, but I get it fun, whatever, I could stop it. But it's not like an entire world I've already built up. It's a sole story. If it takes off, wonderful. I could do more with it if I want to.
Yeah.
I don't have like a grander design in it, and there are some people who do. I do think that's great. Don't get me wrong, because they have this wide scope. World building is just crazy if you can do it, but I don't have anything else planned for it. But I do. Like, I could still do more, but this came by the fly on my seat, so there's really nothing else but this. It's only the way I have it set up is because I initially was going to go through another like Image or something. So I do have more than one book by accident. It's just by accident. I'm kind of in the favor of the one-shot deal. Have a self-contained story that can lead to other stories, but it's really, and it's like, have a 60, 80-page graphic novel.
That's it. That's exactly what I did with Blood Hunt. Yeah.
I like that, man. I don't.
Yeah.
And right now, it's one of the things that I keep telling is I like to experiment. So like Blood Hunt is like that, right? I made it like it's a movie, possible sequel. I do have 2 planned, right? But there's an ending to it compared to the other ones. Tales from the Adverse, it's made to be more of an episode. That word,
right? I know.
Where I can go on, like, if I want, I could put out like a book every month, every 2 months. I can come up with an idea for a mission, right? And you have different ways of telling stories. There's not just one way. It's one of the things that right now I'm having a bit of like, I'm listening to people doing criticizing books, right? And they go, oh, don't start your book with a going back or something. Don't start your book ahead. Just do it linear. And I'm like, stop telling people what to do, because otherwise you're going to end up with what you're complaining about, where all your goddamn movies are going to be the same goddamn thing. Let people tell the stories they want. If you want to criticize how they're doing it. Don't tell them you should have told your story like Frank Miller does. You're like,
yeah, right.
I'm trying to be more like Moore. No, be Frank Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want Frank Miller that badly, then go get Frank Miller. I'm writing like
right.
Yeah.
You have to look at a book in terms of, did they take their selected format, the structure that they chose to work with? Did they achieve that successfully? How successful were they in delivering that? It's not about how much are they like this person or that. It's like, no. Were they successful in delivering a high impact experience with the format and structure they chose to work in?
Right, and was it done well? Was it quality, or does it seem like they rushed it and they just wanted to get it done?
Some story will go better with linear. Some will go with some time jump. Some will go with some flashback. Right.
Yeah.
Some will go backward better.
Yeah, it's are you guys familiar with the movie True Romance?
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Good, right? Good movie, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to Tarantino talk about, because Tarantino wrote that script. He didn't direct the movie though. Have you listened to him talk about it?
He didn't do the screenplay.
I haven't listened to him talk about it.
I think it's there that he actually talks about one of the main important thing to do is it's like the artist way. Right? It's you learn the way, you learn the craft, you learn the perfect, and when you're done, you're like, I've learned everything. Then he looks at you, just forget everything, and now just wing it. And you're like, what?
Well,
that's
it's
the
like
same principle that he said. He said like technically, it's like learn the rules, learn the how to write a story perfectly, and when you're ready, step out the fucking line.
That's right. And like the thing with True, I love that movie. I think it's a really solid creation, but the way it was written or proposed by Tarantino was not what it was. The director took it and made it a linear story, perfectly linear. That is not how it was meant to be. The way it was meant to be, we wouldn't have known as viewers that the main protagonists in the story were anything but evil, like awful people. Like, you wouldn't have known enough of their backstory to understand what was going on, you
They
wouldn't
would
have
have hit
found
you at
that
the
out
end
until
going,
the
"Oh,
end.
shit."
And it's like, oh man, this would have been a completely different movie if the director had done it that way. Would it have been better? I don't know.
No, because the reason right now is like just being in the movie industry, they're gonna tell you this. Well, the people watching, they're not gonna understand. You can't go too complex. So you have rules when a character comes in, he has to come in through the right of the screen, and this and that. I'm like, well, yeah, they're used to having everybody coming through the right, but he's gonna come in through the left. And
Well, they changed the ending of Dodgeball because the bad guys won. And they were like, they were like, no, we don't want it that way. So he had to change it. So
yeah. And it's just like there are
Fargo. Beginning of every show, or movie, it's this is based on a true story, and it's fucking not.
But the trick is there. It's based, so technically what he means is it's inspired from something that happened, but it's nothing like it. It just has a little something from it.
One event probably happened for the whole fucking movie, but everything else wasn't true.
Yeah, are you talking about the series, the Fargo series?
Both the series and the movie.
Also,
the series
Titanic
is damn good.
Also, Titanic, like the boat thing is true, but all the rest is fake. Based on the true story, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was blown away by the. Well, I don't know. Are they doing a new season of Fargo? I haven't watched it.
Fourth season is gone social justice warrior, even though I did like Chris Rock in the fucking season.
I was worried about that, but the first 3 seasons of that was fucking just brilliant, man. Like genius level. Good shit.
Doesn't that suck though? You have to worry about that with every show.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
It's not even a matter of worrying. It's like it's going to happen.
When is it gonna happen?
Yeah, it's just a matter of when are they gonna fucking do it? When are they gonna succumb?
I just tell people, you guys want to go back and go to a great historical social justice show about equality and all this shit. Watch fucking Oz.
Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones, but people get raped.
I think I only watched a couple episodes of that. I don't know why I never got pulled. I definitely need to revisit that. It's pretty solid,
a horrifying show out of everything. It's a pretty horrifying show.
Cool.
And one famous actor, J.K. Simmons, is a leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. And he rapes everybody. He's like horrifying and funny at the same time.
Okay. Equal opportunity. Yeah. Got it.
The Farmers Insurance is a whole
once
new
for fun, once
after.
for dominance. You didn't know that?
Hey, guys, can I...
Can it be the other way around? Once for dominance, once for fun?
Before we... Shit. Before we drop into really talking about this project, I've been downing like insane amounts of water. So can you guys hold down the fort for a minute while I relieve myself? Thank you.
Yeah, go change the oil. We'll be waiting. So, did we talk about the book yet? Not really, did we?
No.
No.
So what's their main pitch for the book, so we can at least get that out of the way while he's going to purify himself?
I'll probably have to regurgitate it for him. But the elevator pitch is a bounty hunter gets trapped into a war he didn't ask for. So that's like, if I were to one-liner it to a company, like that's pretty much like the gist of it. But an alien invasion happened decades ago, centuries ago, however many years ago. It really is irrelevant. But throughout all that, like they're on a quest to conquer the galaxy, universe, whatever you may have you, as most alien species do in most things. They were successful. It's not like Independence Day where they got driven up. And so pretty much what it follows is this bounty hunter guy who's just a contract taker. He goes after prize money and stuff like that. And he's a solo dude, but he ends up going after an object, and he encounters this girl along the way that he wants to take on to, as cannon fodder. And she spears his pathway into this war to try to take down these alien invaders and overthrow them and take pretty much the planet back and get things back to the homeostasis levels. So it follows that journey of these two characters. Like it follows trust and overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. So It's pretty much about that. It's about just a classic adventure story almost, you know.
And that samurai monk is not the main character, right?
The samurai priest is not the main character. That is actually just the what is it? The title image that YouTube happened to use. Change it. So yeah, that's why he's there. He's in the book, but he's a supporting character. He does come in more than like initially I was gonna pitch this through Image or Dark Horse or something. So the first book kind of ends with him, you know. So he's really not in the first part. He's more in the second part. But that's why there's 2 books, because I initially got 3 issues done. So, but the way the story kind of lays out, it makes more sense for it to have a cliffhanger ending and to lead you into the second book.
And if I get this right, the main character is the one with the goggles on his head, right?
Correct. The guy with the goggles is the main character. Yeah.
If Rod could scroll down since he's back, so we can see the main character.
Yeah. All right.
Your glasses.
This guy here.
There you go. Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's the main character. And throughout the whole story, he's just referred to as Old Man Pops, you know, or whatever, because he's older than the girl. But his name isn't revealed throughout the whole book. The only way to know his name is if you had signed up for the pre-launch campaign and you got the trading card, which I didn't tell anybody. I just did it. So
nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
He reminds me of Sam Fisher.
I don't know who that is.
Splinter Cell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, there you go. I never played it, so it's a game, right?
Yeah, badass video game.
Yeah.
One of the first game that you could do the split like Van Damme above like in an alleyway and just stab somebody.
It's kind of like Metal Gear in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Metal Gear killer at the time when it came out in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody forgot about it.
Yeah.
So how long?
Tom Clancy's.
Have you produced comics before, Jason? Like,
no, this is my first. This is my first like full comic I'm doing myself. Like I said, I do have that one in Comixology that I drew for. That one was weird because the guy wrote it almost in novel format in a way. There really wasn't panel breakouts or layouts or anything, but there was just pages, like page 1 this, page 2
That's
this.
Tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
as an artist to like break that down. That's
I had to like break a lot of things up, and sometimes actually I had to pick up page 2 into page 3 or something because it didn't flow.
Right. Yeah.
So that was my first comic, like to draw. This is my first comic that I've ever done, though. So,
yeah. What's that been like? Like, how has that process been for you?
Well, it wasn't really too daunting. To me, the most daunting part about it is the campaigning like this. It just came natural, like because I drew it since I'm more visual. I drew it first, and the dialogue and everything would just flow from whatever would come next. And I would have an idea of like what the book would be or what was in the next couple pages or something. But, you know, and then once I was done drawing it, I would open up the page, look at it, and be like, that's what he was going to say there. But I would also have to change it up, you know, to fit it.
Yeah.
Thing.
No, I think quite a few people actually still, you know, do work that way. And I think even in mainstream, I think sometimes that's the method.
I mean, I'm a visual guy, so to me, it just makes sense. To see it first and then be like, yeah, that's what they're going to say and feel. And it also just makes it more organic. Plus, I don't have a writer. I'm my writer. So what's the point of me writing it first and describing what's in the panel when I can just draw it? So,
that's fucking great. I'm looking forward, just as a little segue here, I want to bring up, we got the 24-hour comic jam is coming up this weekend, man. And it's exactly that. It's going to be art. There's no script. The artists are going to be winging it, coming up with this thing organically as they go. And now I'm kind of realizing, you know, after the fact, this could be a fun opportunity to bring writers into it and say, okay, let's see who can write the best script to what the artists have done here. You know, like let's have the writers come in and make a little contest out of, you know, what are they saying, what's happening, write it out, you know. So I think it's an interesting way to create a book, is like to do the visual first and then fill in the story and dialogue after.
Yeah, that thing's going to be pretty wild, man, because you never know what's going to happen.
No.
One panel to the next.
No, and then, of course, there's going to be an artist here or there. Of course, it's the internet. It's, 2020. Somebody's going to just try throw a curveball in there and
put
do
a
something
dildo
wild.
or a dick. Yeah.
Yeah, or just something completely out of left field, crazy, So, and that's going to be part of the fun. Obviously, I'm going to tell the artists no pornographic content. There's going to be some.
Okay. Which makes sense.
That's probably the only hardline rule is nothing pornographic.
No DP.
Yeah.
Right.
You can have subjective DP, but you cannot have the DP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Well then, I got my panel played out now. Thank you. Yeah, I know what to do.
And just so everybody knows, I think I have 7 slots left, so we're getting close to filling out those slots. That's out of 25 potential artists. So people are really, I think, into this. It's going to be fun to see how this goes.
And it's like that Jeopardy thing. We need to push a bit more too. It's a really fun thing that we're doing, and I think that if we can find a good spot, so if you have a suggestion of one of the best spots that we should do it, let us know, because we actually would like to have that show going and have as much participation as possible, because we're all having a blast. We keep talking about it, the creators on it. It's really freaking fun to do.
Right. Cool. That's awesome to hear. And of course, I think everyone on this panel is signed up to be a part of this thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you guys are going to be participating in that. We got Metal Movies and Brewskis has signed on. So yeah, we've got a lot of great people. Russ Leach is going to be doing the cover. It's going to be really fun. Mm-hmm. I did want to say, Jason, I just love your line work, man. I love that you enjoy using varying that line weight really well. You put those nice thick lines down. I love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, part of that comes also from the way my eyeballs are, because they're so screwed up that my regular style is dirty as it is anyway. So if I'm going this is an original page, but if I'm going digital, I have to maintain that. So I got to vary the line weights and stuff. Plus, to me, it adds depth. It adds dimension and character. So to me, if something's coming at you, man, make it come at you. Thicken that thing up. Make it look foreboding and stuff. Something closer to just makes sense to me.
So you're saying this what we're looking at here? You did this traditional?
Yeah, I actually have it right here.
Right. Is this thing available?
Yeah, I haven't. Nobody's backed an original art tier yet, so this is the original page.
Holy shit, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool piece, dude.
Thank you.
How much are you asking for this?
Well,
is it in the campaign?
Yeah, it's in the campaign.
Okay.
It also comes with all the books and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's 300, I think.
Dude, that's a good deal. Damn, I hope somebody.
I thought so.
That's actually, I really like the piece. It's tempting, man.
Well, hey, like I said, nobody's backed it. So if anybody does, they'd be the one person, and more than likely, I'd give them that.
Just technically, first one, first serve you too, right?
Yeah, it's more or less and it was a random thing. But if I only have one person, I'm going to give them the best page I got. So.
Right.
But the majority of it's digital because my eyes suck. But I do also have a tier on that where you can, get a one-off print, and I, add a little ink, make it original, and you have my blue line format paper on there. So it's on, the traditional still page that I have that on. It's on the mixed media 11x17 paper. So it's an original one-off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, are you completely a one-man show? Are you doing your letters as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did everything but edit. There are some colored pieces. I did those. So I did everything. Shay, the Red Valkyrie, she's my editor. So.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, it's so, as a writer, it's kind of easy to just dismiss that component of producing anything. But you just shouldn't. It's so important to have those extra eyeballs on anything you do, anything you're doing.
I was very glad I did.
Yeah. They're going to see things you just because when you write something, you tend to just kind of skim over things and not really see it, because in your mind you already know what it says, so you're not really paying that close enough attention. Whereas an editor coming in is really going to pick up on everything. So it's just so important.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
she was also very thrilled to read the book ahead of time.
Yeah. Nice. That's cool, man.
So yeah. And I don't know if I left the page up on the campaign actually, because I sent her the book to edit, and she did edit it, but there was a Wise Guys Entertainment on this campaign page. He's like, you do realize there's Word Balloon has like extra letters in it, and Shay had edited it already, and it was already there. I'm like, oh, she didn't catch that. So,
right.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I did fix it, so I'm glad he caught it. Otherwise, that would have been printed in the book.
Yeah, dude, it's so it's so hard. Anyone who's ever printed something like a comic book, after how many hundreds of hours go into its production, it's hard to even look at it after the printed copy, because you're going to find something. You're going to find those little things that will make you so pissed that you didn't catch it.
I did. When I was uploading the files, I sent it away and they sent me the proofs. I saw an error on one of the pages.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's wrong. Let me fix it. They fixed it. They had accidentally, I got to burn a lot of crap. They had accidentally sent me a print run of I have the regular cover with the interiors, but then I have the variant cover with no interiors and the blank cover with no interiors. So they accidentally they weren't supposed to send that. They accidentally sent, but I'm glad they did, because I was flipping through it and there was one of the pages had one of the blue lines in it.
Oh yeah.
So I had to be like, the proofs are wrong. I need to edit it again. So I never caught that, even editing my own stuff like 3 times while uploading it. So
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, there's so much stuff
always at a certain point, once you actually just commit and it's like that's what it's going to be, you just have to let it go. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing, because it can make you crazy. For sure.
It wouldn't have ruined the book, and if I hadn't pointed it out, like my brother read it, and if I hadn't pointed it out, he's like, I wouldn't have seen that probably. But I saw it, and it would have bothered me, and I don't want somebody getting an imperfect book. So
yeah. Nice. All right, so this is it's 46 pages, black and white. Now, is that 46 pages a story, or does that include extra content? Okay.
There's like a divider page, chapter break page. That's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's 40, because it's 20. I originally was gonna have it be comic book issues, so each issue was 23 pages. So it's 46 pages of story.
Gotcha. Nice.
Got to make sure to have all that story. Dan Shaheen's got to make sure you got to have story.
Dude, he can bite me. Dude, is this really
that guy, dude.
$25? It's like, yes, I do, because of all the time I put into it, dick.
Dude, watching that last show with him, like that interview with Ethan, man, it was just like, holy.
Did you see the Larson one though? Yeah.
Dude, that he self-destructed so hardcore, it was insane.
But the funny thing was, the Larson interview, totally fine. It was a regular interview. It was like, how did you get into this and that and everything like that. It was never, he didn't attack him once. He didn't go after him about all of his pornography type stuff in the book that he's gotten heavily into.
No, he had his fucking PowerPoint.
Yeah, it's like, there was no political agenda, because Larson is very political in his book. He didn't go after him about that. Nothing. It's like, dude,
and very sexually weird in his comics, Larson. We're talking about Eric Larson, right?
Yeah, he is. And I still like his artwork, or at least did. Like the first run of the first miniseries of Savage Dragon is amazing. I mean, that book's beautiful. But as a guy, Larson's kind of a dick. But
But he treated him with respect and did a proper interview, right? And it's like,
but see,
obviously he could not do that. He could not do that with EVS, or he would risk.
No, because they probably all sent him a message. If you want to keep that interview on, do this, do that. So that's why it was late. It was probably preparing all those PowerPoints and highlighting those questions to make sure that they understood that he was doing it right. He was doing what they were saying. And keep in mind that all CGers, he says it in the beginning, all CGers were blocked in his chat before. He unblocked everybody so they could interact, and then everybody was blocked again after. So he's a big cancel culture motherfucker.
Sure.
Well, he also wanted to be the guy to take down EVS. And everybody that ever talks to EVS that's not CG wants to be the guy to take down EVS. Rather than just talking to the guy and be like, hey, tell me about Cyberfrog.
And he's so great at those debates. He's so great at those debates. I like how he always keeps his cool.
Yeah.
No, it is great, and it's great. I mean, it's great for CG, and it provides so much awesome entertainment. I mean, it's like, dude, it's popcorn time when you know that
You
something like
saw
that's going down.
Yeah,
you saw
when it says that EVS debating somebody like that, you're like, oh, that's gonna be a cool watch.
Yeah.
well, you saw EVS's post on Twitter with the Salamandroid toy flexible tail, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've
He
seen the
like somebody's
specific one.
flexing up, dude. That Salamandroid toy is huge,
Oh,
and the
that
guy's like
shit's
flexing
awesome.
the tail. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, this guy's horrible. Like, look at the quality content he's putting out. Holy mother of it, that thing's
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
Yeah, it
But
is.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be too wordy with this though. This comic, like I know it is wordy, but because I did try to emulate that Frank Miller Sin City vibe, that inner monologue.
Nice.
So it does get a little wordy, but luckily Shay was there, because she could be like, hold back on this, do that, because she even knows, but she didn't say anything, so I was relieved. There was a couple of times where she's like, you need to break this up, but it's a little like it's not. It's. I think it's got good story. I think it's got good content and good dialogue and inner monologue and stuff like that.
Yeah, comics have that, the same kind of thing going where the general rule is, show don't tell people, and that can be tough. Especially if you're a writer on a comic, it can. I think when you're both the writer and an artist, I think it can be a little easier to be like, well, I don't need these words, but the writer's like. They want to kind of flex. I know I did that myself when I was early on. You want to flex your muscle a little bit and show what you can do, but dude, it's got to serve the bigger picture of the comic itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and I was trying to write things that like you don't like you can see the panel, but the things that I wrote were describing things you couldn't see in the panel. Like somebody's bone that like his bones break with an intensity. It's like you can see his bones like this, but I'm describing the sounds that they're making.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I tried to play a different, and I've never written any. Like this is my first writing thing. So,
dude, anyone looking to get into writing, I would highly recommend reading Narwhal's Earthbound if you want to understand what it means in comic books to show don't tell. I think Narwhal basically has it to a science where he lets the art do most of the work and is very minimal on what he adds in terms of text, and it's almost all dialogue. If there is, it's dialogue. He doesn't feel a need to fill in with prose or narration in it, and it's powerful. If you do it right, it's powerful.
Right, and it calls for it.
See foreign agents, just imagery for the most part.
Yeah.
Once again with Sin City, Silent Night, Deadly Night. There was no word, there was nothing, no dialogue except for the very last page. Like there was no inner monologue, no nothing. It was just the book, and then at the very end, he's like, "Okay, let's go home." That was it.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
At the same token, I mean, there are some people. It seems like I think your boy Zach is kind of on this. He leans toward this direction of just like if there's a shit ton of text on pages in a comic, he's instantly pissed by it, and it's like there are times when it serves.
There's times when it
serves the comic, and it's like as long as it's not like just like Bendis, fucking farting in the wind like he does.
Yeah, it can't be every panel, every page. You can't do that. I would get bored of reading that. Like I do have a couple pages, like there's a double page spread that you'll see where he talks a lot, but he's describing a past event rather than me drawing out 4 to 5 pages of a flashback. I take care of it in 2-page spread, and he says what happened in the past. Boom, done.
Nice.
I ain't got to worry about it no more.
Nice.
So
who are we looking at here? Is this a baddie?
No, that is a good guy. That's the Samurai Priest.
Okay.
He, like I said, this was initially a 4-issue story, but whatever. But he appears more in the second half of the first book. The Pope-like guy, or the sage, or his master, locates the 2 main characters who are pivotal to taking down the Envy, the alien race, and he sends him to protect them, to help them out, and be like, you need to make sure nothing happens. So
nice.
he's kind of like, I don't know, with they get superpowers in a way, and because of like alien experimentation in the past, plus fallout, plus breeding, and so people get either like genetic abilities or genetic defects or birth defects. So like something he can do is channel his chi and absorb energy around him to sustain himself, to make himself stronger, to go without food or water for long durations of time. So he's kind of like a self-sustaining unit. He could be his own army for a while. So that's why he's kind of set out, to take care of them.
Does he get a lot of phone calls from lonely women with that hand?
Oh, once and done, man. He's a once and done with that hand.
Yeah, we were talking. Actually, this reminds me of one of the other shows we did. I can't remember, but it had to do with proctology and banana fingers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is not the guy you want for that job.
No, you don't.
I just got in the trading cards for him.
Hold on. Let's bring you up here.
This is the watercolored one where the camera doesn't pick it up too well, but this is the watercolored one that I watercolored.
Oh, he looks badass, dude. I like that. And we're getting a glimpse of somebody in the reflection there.
That's the Envy. He did the Incredible Hulk homage of Wolverine. Facing the Hulk, and then on the back is a D&D stat, so you can play as this character for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, nicely done, dude. Very cool. Yeah,
thanks, man. I did that with the Red Valkyrie card too, but everybody also gets the black and white version of that card. Everybody gets it if you back the book. All you have to do is back at the $15 tier, and you also get the Dan Fraga line art.
Oh, sick, dude. That's right. I forgot he did that.
Yeah, so
it's so cool that he's doing that for campaigns and shit.
Yeah, especially, dude, I'm a no one practically. You know what I mean? Like, as far as name wise, I'm nobody, and he offered it up, and so like I just took his signature and I added his favorite number up there.
That's fucking awesome,
dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, he did an amazing job on this.
It's so
and
cool.
I did want to pop a little color in there, but
yeah. Nice, man, and everybody's getting that.
Everybody's getting both of those. Yeah.
All right. Sick, dude.
So he really liked the Samurai Priest, and that's who he really wanted to draw.
Yeah, that's a cool image of the Samurai Priest.
Yeah, he nailed it.
So let's drop through some of these.
Well, you can keep scrolling down for a little more. Yeah, keep going. There's the 2-page spread, but I also have a 24-panel page if you want to see that right there.
Oh, hell yeah. There it is.
Keep going. Yeah, there it is.
Dang, it's a 24. Dude. Sim will appreciate that.
Yeah, he saw it on the last one.
Yeah,
it was labor intensive and a challenge, and that's why.
And that's the thing. Again, as a writer for comic, I probably would not do that. Something like this to the artist.
Yeah, I don't recommend.
You wouldn't want to, because your artist was like,
dude.
I know, but because you're the artist as well, you're like, yeah, I'm down to do this. Of course I am. But as a writer, you think twice, dude. Like with the project I was writing for Ink Spots, I was trying to keep it as minimal as possible because his painterly style is so time consuming. If I did this to him on that with his style, he would fucking murder me, dude.
Yeah, you'd be gone. But like you said, I'm writing it, but also since I was writing it, I could control the camera angles and what I wanted in what panel and what dialogue would go where. So it's mainly just I'm trash talking and, because this could either have been like a 5-page fight scene and then I wouldn't have had any room left for more stuff, or I could break it down. I could get the core essence of it. It could take time, but at the same time, you'd be quick. So
nice.
It was challenging, and I'll probably never do it again. But I also wanted to show that I could do multiple panels on one page. Like I'm not just like my brother has a misconception because he's going to be writing the comic that we're going to be doing, but he has a misconception. He's like 4 panels per page. I'm like, no, man, don't do that. Like that very limits me a lot. And that's where I have to edit him then at that point and be like, no, I'm going to make it this way. So, but this can show people, look, I can do more than 4 panels in a page.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep it fresh, mix it up, always change, like, from the artist side of it, you definitely want to play around with perspectives and angles. You want to mix those up. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I have a general sense of.
Well, yeah, you're a writer, so you know the angles and stuff like that and what you kind of want. So you understand it. But and there's also a little bit more content as you go down. You see the poster, the insert. if you scroll down more. So
I do want to give a shout out to the chat one more time. I saw that Liam was Conquest Comics was hanging out. I don't know. He's maybe shown up here once or twice before, but it's great to have him in the chat. I'm hoping. I've invited him to come on to the Flash Fiction Writing Contest show that
that would be great.
Putting on with Red Gaze tonight. So I'm hoping Liam could be there. I know he'd have a lot to contribute to that. So yeah. So you want me to scroll further down here?
Just a little further down because the poster. It shows the covers. Like there's the covers. That's the regular cover. That's the variant cover. And then the poster insert is just below that. So, and that's with some of the tiers you get.
Your style is it's just instantly recognizable. Is this something you've developed over time, or did this just kind of emerge quickly for you?
A little bit of both. Even all the way through my 20s, into my early 30s, I was, playing around with stuff, but it kind of all had the same vibe to it. But I can do other things if I want to. And that's where like that learning came from. But if I were to just sit down and draw something, this is kind of what comes out. Yeah. So yeah, like I like elongating things or making proportions a little weirder or stretching things to their maximum capabilities and then pushing it a little more. I don't know. It just gives it that energy.
I do. I've really grown to like that. I remember, I got into Spawn. I think it was right around the time that I think Greg Capullo was taking over duties on that. And at first, his thing kind of pissed me off, right? Because he does that. It's a very, surreal reality he's depicting. But you just got to give it a chance. And I've grown to just absolutely adore that. In comics. Why would I don't want total that's not the point of art or comics to me. It's like photorealistic painting to me has no value. I'm not interested. I appreciate the skill. Like, dude, that's incredible. Like, wow,
there's
amazing.
People,
but why do I want it, dude? Like,
right. See, that's where like Alex Ross, like he does it, but at the same time, to me, it still looks like a comic book.
Yeah.
It still looks fake. It still looks like it's not real. It's not so photorealistic. Like it is, but it isn't. Like you can tell this is a made up character and that they can do anything. But at the same time, it's like, wow, this could be a real guy. Like but I also love stuff like Sam Keith is a huge influence of mine. It may not show in a lot of my stuff, like especially this comic work, but overall, he's a major influence. But because of he brought art to comic books, in my opinion. He Bill Sienkiewicz did too and stuff like that. But Sam Keith really just pushed those boundaries and like, you know what? Here you go. And he didn't care. It's like, this is my style, like it or not. And then you got the Red Valkyrie trading card, which is exclusive to one tier only.
Yeah. That's badass.
And I have the
fun.
Yeah. And then I have the Frege black and white. I didn't upload the watercolor one yet.
Damn.
Nice, dude. Very good. Yeah, when this says insert poster, what do you mean by that exactly?
It's 11 by 17, and I fold it up, and I'll insert it. Yeah.
Nice. Now there was somebody, maybe it was Sim. I'm not sure. And that there was a way, because I'm not a huge fan of like posters being folded, but someone was talking about like a soft fold method.
Yeah, it's
where you don't actually do the crease. You just kind of.
It's Michael Beacon. What he did is that since you have we have a soft, perfect bound cover, right? What he did is he put his posters. He took a mailer that like a Gemini mailer that didn't have the extra compartment inside, so it's wider. So what he did is he put the posters in a plastic sleeve.
Yeah.
Then he softly wrapped it around the book, put it in a mailer, then closed it. And people, when they get them, all they have is a soft curve instead of a bend, so they can easily straighten it out.
Yeah. If you can think about that, if you can incorporate that method, people will appreciate it.
Yeah, his were thick enough that he could do it. These are like regular posters.
Yeah, it's not a poster. It's not a. It certainly isn't.
No, and I get it.
But that's what he had. He had posters. It's not cardstock. I have them on my wall behind me.
I have it over there. No, I have to check it out again. I'll give it a shot.
Those 11, 17 posters.
Reach out to Beacon and yeah, it's worth at least exploring it because
everybody's happy about how he delivered them so far.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how many of them I sold out, because another thing I could do is, since I have a lot of people that have the 9x12 sketch, I could just ship them out in 11x17, with Gemini mailers inside of it, and the 11x17 bag the poster. I could, there's other ways.
Me, I
could
use
try it out.
tubes. Me, I use tubes.
Yeah.
It's tubes are not that expensive to send, and I have a 18-inch long tube, and it cost me $12, between 10 to 12 bucks sending to the US.
That seems like a massive additional expense, man.
I ordered them. That's what I did, dude. Because remember, for Blood Hunt, I wanted to. What I did is I split people's orders because I wanted the books out ASAP.
I have like these that I was, could insert.
Yeah.
And then put the Gemini in it, so the books are in the Gemini, and then these are it would sturdy it up, and you wouldn't have to worry about bending any. We'll see what happens.
There's no way around it. Posters are they're tough, man. It's a tough thing.
What about those magnet posters? Those things are kind of cool.
Magnet posters.
Yeah,
the ones that are advertising now, where you can put your graphic on this kind of thin metal plate, and you just put magnets on your wall, and you can stick them on the wall, and you can move them everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. I'm gonna look into that.
I wonder how much that costs, though.
I don't know. I've seen them advertised everywhere, and advertised you could put custom graphics on them. So you buy them in bulk, it should cost less for you guys. If it's a stretch goal or something. The only problem is
worth looking into. That's cool.
You're dealing with shipping, but like people like Wanger, he had a larger package, and he's already risking damage sending his shit out. So
he's Texan.
Someone did comment on the colors, man, and I gotta say, I agree. This is I really dig this coloring style you got going, man.
Yeah, that's digital. I just use the method of flats, and then I lasso and highlight, and then I have another layer where I lasso and darken. But with the color stuff, though, I couldn't do my harsh blacks with this color style anyway. Like, it was just all flats, maybe it would fly. But so I kind of had to vary the art a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind doing that at all, because I color stuff too. I'm used to doing it for like bands and stuff. I've done album art, and they want color stuff, so you kind of have to hold back on some things. So it was fun to do. Coloring a whole book digitally, I don't know. I would probably just do it watercolor. Have fun with it.
Nice. So the feature tier, what are we getting here?
You get the two covers. You get the variant and the regular cover.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what you get with that.
Very cool. All right, now are you signing these?
There is a signature tier.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Mainly because some people don't want signed books, and that's fine. They think that it ruins it. So
yeah, I get that.
So these are these ones are not signed, and then there's a specific tier for it signed. Plus, if you like live next door to me, or me, or in the area, I could sign it for you.
Yeah, I love it's so cool that people can jump on board with this campaign for $15. I think that's a smart move.
Well, my whole philosophy behind that was it's not colored, so it's cheaper for me to print it. So why should I charge them more, even though it's cheaper for me? It didn't make sense. So
yeah, it's a nice price point. It made the decision really easy for me, at least.
Awesome. Well, good.
Yeah, and that's sometimes I feel kind of bad. I can't, I have a limited funds on these. I almost always have to do like just the book, like the basic thing.
Right.
But you do what you can do, and that's really, for me. I want to read the comic. I mean, I do appreciate the other stuff, and I think it can add a lot of excitement to campaigns and shit. But I really just want that sweet ass comic book. So that's where I usually find myself backing.
Well, and some of the other stuff can get pretty expensive. Like Skits, he has a really great campaign, really great idea of like alternate interior stories if you pay.
Right.
But I can't afford all that. I can't. The price point was too high, and I had to do what you did, where I backed the book itself, so I can at least get that awesome art, that story that's intriguing, and I can still get it. So
yeah, I'm in the
there's
same
only
boat
so
with
much you can do.
skits. Yeah, it was like I couldn't get all three, but I did. I had to have that. I love what they're doing over there with that project. It's so unique, and
Yeah.
he drew a badass crow piece yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I think he's
Is that
kind
on
of
his
doing.
stream?
I think he's doing what Frega's doing. Like he's drawing something every day.
Well,
I
even
gotcha.
before the comic campaign, they had an interesting marketing campaign that was so crazy. Like,
Oh yeah.
you had I don't know Skitz's name personally, but he used to go out in his car and he's like, I'm going to Skitz's campsite to look for him. And he'd go to a tent in the middle of nowhere and look at this deserted campsite. Like, Skitz is gone. I wonder where he's at.
That's funny. Yeah.
And then,
They did. They did a lot of really strong work up front before the campaign.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of mystery.
Yeah, I only had my pre-launch up for like a month because I thought that's all you had. I didn't know you had 6 months.
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise, I would have waited longer apparently. But it still worked out.
Dude, you're building that trust, that fan base trust with this campaign. You're gonna learn. You're learning all those things. You're learning from some mistakes, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of. It's so important to establish yourself in this network as being someone who delivers, and you level up by having this campaign completed, and you build from there, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can snag the variant for 20.
Yeah. So because there's a lower print run of that, so
Okay.
it's limited.
Nice. And do you have a set number, or
I don't have a
Is it-
set number because I did print enough. Like if you see me at a con, I'll still probably have some.
yeah, for
But
sure.
I'm not going to offer them in any other campaign. It's
Okay.
just through this.
Nice. So I see you just give people a choice if they want it signed or not. Same price.
Yeah. And with the signed copy, you could pick if you want the original or the variant. So if you go
Okay.
with the variant, you're pretty much getting the signature freehand, free.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Got it. Absolute blank.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, I have a couple. I did a very low print run on blank sketch covers.
Nice.
So yeah, you can back that, get a sketch cover, and do what you want to it. And I also have one where I draw on it. But that one is just blank. You just get the sketch cover.
That's
how much
cool,
is
man.
how much is that one? The one you drawn?
It's 20, excluding shipping. Is 20.
The one you draw on.
No
Oh, the
shit.
one I draw on, yeah, the one I draw on is 50. Plus you
Okay.
get the
Yeah,
absolute.
That's still
Plus
a
you
crazy. That's a good deal, man.
Yeah,
Plus
that's a
you
good
get the
deal.
absolute Valkyrie trading card with that. That's the only one that you get this card with.
No.
Yeah, so that's the only way to get this trading card. The other way might be because I had to do a minimum print run. I might send them to Shay, and they can give them away as memberships.
Mm.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but aside from that, yeah, maybe I'll keep some for a convention.
Okay, so clarify on this tier right here. Absolute. This is what you were
Blankhead?
just. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I draw on that one. So I draw one of my characters on it. I do a head sketch. It's not one of these because later on down in the campaign, I have the stretch goal of the absolute sketch plus, and you get one of these. I draw. These are
shit.
sketches.
Oh, hold on.
These are like detailed sketches. So they're 9x12. They're out of the book. They
Shit.
take a little longer. So these are not head sketches, obviously.
Yeah.
it's her head, but so
That's
I
fucking
like.
awesome, dude.
Thank you very much. I'll show you one more. So like these are more involved.
Yes.
So,
Damn.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah, so, so these ones
That's
cost more
cool.
with the. Thank you very much, man, dude. I really appreciate it. I do. It's still crazy to me that people like my artwork that much. But yeah,
It
with
is.
the,
I know. There's something about it that pulls me into it. I dig your style. Sometimes it's not something you can really express. All I know is that it works for me, man.
And that's your blank head tier?
No, that's
Okay.
that's the sketch tier. The blank head is just like a head sketch where it won't be like those take me maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah.
That might take me like a half hour to draw the blank head sketch.
But
like,
still,
it's not
for
take me that long.
$50, you're getting a.
You get a sketch on the comic, the blank cover, plus you get the card that you can't get. I won't have it in any other campaign. It won't be in any other tier. It's not even in the absolute Overlord, the most expensive tier. It's not even in that one. It's only through this.
That should be your featured tier.
Yeah, this is cool, man. And like, were you? Are you able to, like, if you were to get this tier, the $50, can you add on just like the comic? Because I would imagine, like, if I were to get this tier, this copy of this book with the head sketch, I wouldn't want it to be my reading copy.
I got
if you know what I mean.
That is, see, I didn't do add-ons.
Well, see, this is what you learn. You're like, okay, these are things you accumulate, you learn, you figure out. So, like, when you come back to the table next time, you can just blow it up, man.
Yeah, that makes it. Well, the other things with this is I actually added this. This was a surprise thing I didn't do I added this like maybe 2 weeks ago. Before Shay went on vacation. So at the end of last month, I did a stream with her, and that's when I debuted it. So I added this on later. So,
do you have anything on hand that kind of would show people what the head sketch would be like?
No.
See, it would be cool. I mean, that would be another thing. Like, obviously, if we could see what it is, like, that would.
Let's put it this way: I have a hard time not putting in detail and not. I have a hard time not holding back. So the odds are pretty good. It's still gonna look like.
I think Vinny's like the same way. He's all. Here's my sketch tier, and I'm like, dude, that's not a fucking sketch. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, he'll be on Frega's show. He's like, I did my sketch real quick. I posted it up. I'm like, that would take me 5 hours.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't do sketches. It's not in his repertoire, man.
Yeah, like sketches to me, like they might only take they might take 45 minutes, but it's still a sketch because it's a sketch.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they'll probably still be pretty detailed. I tend to overboard things.
So when you're talking the sketch plus, that's the more detailed.
That's
what
the
you
ones
were
I
shown before. Okay.
I just showed.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
And clearly, I mean, look,
it's
$100. It's $100 tier, and you got 10 takers on that shit already. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Damn,
so,
that's
and
really
I still
cool.
have more to do. So
I think it's just a testament that you have this art style that, for certain people, it's just like it's a must-have kind of. There's something about it that just gets under your skin. You want,
dude,
so
it's overwhelmingly flattering. It really is.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It reminds me of Kyle Hotz.
Oh, yeah, dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites. I loved his run in Criminal Masquerade.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Right, and you talked a little bit about the original page before now, and
this is the.
Are you saying that people get to choose their pay? How does this work?
No, it's all randomized. But I think I only have 3 people on that one.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, so obviously I'm gonna pick really good pages. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to shortchange people, and that one is the digital print one where it's a one-off print. I will add a little ink under maybe a thick black spot, so that way there's some live ink on there that I did. It'll be just as it is in the comic, but you get my blue line is there, my customized Unhinged Entertainment blue line pages. So it's a one-off print. I won't reproduce it ever. There's really no point for me to do that. It doesn't make any sense. There's 40 pages that I have to give out. So
Nice. And the absolute original, though, that's the piece.
That's the one with you get all the books and you get everything except for the Red Valkyrie card, and you also get one of the original pages.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
Thanks, man.
Very cool.
There's one more tier. Yeah.
Overlord. All right.
Yeah, with that you get everything except for comic pages. What you get is instead you get an 11 by 17. I don't have a colored version, but a 11 by 17 piece of art that I've done. Here's a sample. This one's 11 by 14 and it's black and white, but I'll do an original illustration artwork piece. I won't scan it. I won't print it. I won't I might post whips of it online. That's about it. and it's
Sick.
a custom piece, watercolor, acrylic paints, ink, and it's a piece of art to hang on your wall. It's not really comic related.
Damn, dude.
So,
God. You know, I'm not a huge. I don't collect original art per se, but like, yeah, you're. I don't know. You're giving me that itch to want to get some of that shit.
Thanks, man. I do have a backer on that one, and those take me generally about 20 to 40 hours, all depending on what I'm doing in them, to get done. So you get everything in the campaign, and that. So that's why, I mean, the cost is up there. I charge that much alone, really, for one of those pieces. So you're getting that, plus you're getting everything.
Damn, dude, that's quite a value.
It is.
Nice, man. Really I tried to make it one.
And
that's like cheaper than the honeycomb box.
Yeah. We're finding, I think we're finding too with ComicsGate and just the emerging indie scene is how important it is for original art to have a story. So I think, when you're making original art, I think it's always smart if you can to record the art being made, have a time-lapse video. Anything that can go along with creating a story for that piece of art, it's going to add value to the people that ultimately wind up with it.
Like I said, I have little snippets of the one I'm working on right now. There's a couple pictures I have on Twitter and on Instagram. But even still, like if you only back the $15 tier, I got so much doodles and stuff. And like I'm tossing in a lot of crap in my campaign.
Nice.
Like I'm gonna probably give this away. I'll put this in somebody's book, sketch cover. This is actually more on the other side.
Damn.
I did this one recently for the Dark Knight one with Frega's Word of the Day.
Oh right!
Wow,
beautiful, dude.
That's sweet.
Like these are just some of the sketch covers, but these are the ones I have on hand.
Yes.
Like I'll give these. I don't know. They're sitting around.
Yeah,
I have
people
sketches
fighting
that I've
for
done
those covers.
What's that?
You'll get people fighting for those covers.
Put that for sale on your
randomly.
campaign if you want. There's people doing that. The sketch cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I'd rather just give them to people as a thank you.
Christine, the art, it can be. I can't really afford it either, even though I'm at this stage. I'm really tempted.
Well,
but don't forget,
saying,
you can get this 46-page comic from this creator for $15.
Let me see if I can't find one. I have I really wish I could find one. Like I used to work at Michael's, and on the back of their tax exempt forms, there was 5x7. I would doodle on them at the register, and I called them work doodles. Dude, I did. Plus, I would also use cut out cardstock, and I would draw on those. Here we go. Like here's a cardstock one that I did. This is just sitting over there. So you might get original art from me either way, Christine. Because I'll be tossing. You know what I mean?
So cool,
this,
dude. Yeah.
This is ballpoint pen and white gel pen. So,
nice, see now something like that, I would do. I'd want that I want that 9 feet tall, huge wall size.
Funny you should say something.
Boom. Love that shit.
This one's 24 by 36. This is the print of it though. I got to make sure I get the right side up. So this is 24 by 36.
Whoa,
dude.
Shay gave one of these away as her for her backer thing. She did. I do. So this is just a print of one.
And this is just. I'd imagine this is just you just letting yourself go, lose yourself in it. Yeah.
This is what I call free flow art, where I just start going. I don't let out. But that's what those art pieces are in that absolute overlord. They're free flow art. They're just me going to town. I don't lay it out. I don't draw it. I don't pencil it. I just go. Yeah, so whatever's in my id comes out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that's awesome, Christine. I'm glad to hear you back the project. And dude, she loves that piece you just showed.
Yeah, you're gonna make me broke next payroll, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Well, dude, you keep at it, man. You're obviously there's gonna come a time where you're gonna be sitting at the big boy table, EVS's auction. We're gonna see you selling shit for $500 to $1,000 a pop, man.
You know what? That would be awesome. Dude, the fact that people like it and want the book itself to me is awesome, because that I put 5 years into. Those might take. Oh, granted, I work all day, but those might take me a few hours. This took me forever.
Yeah.
So the
right.
fact that people are interested in the story, something that I took time with, to make it well and done and good, and it was a labor of love, and it came from nowhere. Like, I didn't plan it out. I just went. So
yeah, dude. Good stuff, man. It's really.
Well, I will say.
Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt you, dude. I just want to say that the campaign, like, I'm going to be in fulfillment this week. I just got everything. The campaign will be up probably until the first week in November, and then I'm going to take it down. So there's still time to back it. Yeah.
That's not long. We've got a little bit of time here, folks.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep it up too long. The Steam has slowly been not there. It's slowly been losing steam. So I'm like, it's time to wrap it and call it a day. Yeah. But I want to fulfill first. And once people start getting their books, give them time to be like, okay, I like this. Maybe I want to get a different tier or like a blank sketch cover. It gives them time to, plus I'm sure people don't have money right now, whatever.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is, get in on this project, man. We're not going to, this is an artist that we're going to be seeing a lot of down the road. You're climbing that ladder, man. I think you're really on a great path, and you just keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna build that fan base out, and you're gonna get support from all of us, dude. And that's what I love about CG is we enjoy watching others succeed. Like, we don't have that's kind of inherent fear or loathing of other people like doing better or succeeding. It's like we don't. For whatever reason, like, that hasn't entered into ComicsGate for the most part. It's like people want to see you succeed.
Dude, there's the comic Bric-a-Brac. It's a Christmas comic. I'm not a Christmas guy. I backed it because it looked great, and I was so heartbroken when it didn't fulfill. I'm like, dude, I felt so bad because you can tell the guy loves this book. He loves the campaign, the project. Dude, I felt heartbroken. I'm not even a Christmas guy.
Right.
But you're right. I want these people to succeed because you can tell they love it. They love and are adamant about comics and about storytelling.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm at that point. I gotta get back to the job. Is there anything in closing that you really just want to drop about this project, this campaign?
I hammered on quite a long time about it. Thank you, everyone, for backing it or will back it or even sharing it. You know what? Go send some love to Kill Journal. Shay, my editor, she wrote a short for it. Once it hits the goal, her story gets out there. Also, Adam did hit me up. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell anybody, but he wanted me to do a piece. So I will. I don't know if it's going to be in the Kill Journal itself, or what he's going to do with it. But I'm going to be drawing one of the characters just for something, and I don't know what. But go back to Kill Journal, show some love. It looks like a great book anyway.
Yeah, it really does. I love it. There's a lot of energy behind that. I think that was another one it got me.
Yeah,
I think I backed that. And again, Red Valkyrie, man, she's kicking ass.
Not only that, you got Jason Krager on the book, who. Yeah. I mean, I think I've said it before. I don't know if I said it before, but he actually did a piece for me that I'm going to use as the cover for Absolute Book 2. So Jason Krager is going to have a variant cover for Book 2 of Absolute, and he's drawing the Kill Journal. So, and Hammer too. But just great artist. Yeah. I mean, and Adam is great about his passionate about his writing, and he's wonderful. So check. I know I yammered about my book, so let me plug someone else.
No, I dig that, man. That's the spirit of the thing. I love it. Very cool. Sam, anything you wanna shout out here?
Yeah, go back that book. I did it with Chris this morning, and go check out my book, Tales from the Universe. We only have 5 days left to 6 or 5 days left to reach the funding and unlock some stretch goals. After that, we go in demand. I close the stretch goals. And I start preparing the file to print and fulfill.
Nice.
I would like to be able to reach at least 100 backers before we close the funding, especially that the first 100th backer of a physical copy also gets a sketch card with it and a trading card. So you're technically getting the book for free. Okay,
no doubt, dude. And on
and I'm only charging $15 shipping to the U.S.
Oh yeah, dude, that's so cool that you figured out like a way to do that. I love that you're pushing those boundaries and figuring out things like that. I can't remember what time slot you're doing on the 24-hour comic, but we're gonna offer something really cool for anyone who backs Tales from the Natverse while Sim is drawing for that hour.
Oh, and I'm
It's
also
gonna
gonna
be
be.
it's gonna be a one time deal, and it's gonna be pretty sweet.
And if people, the people that back Blood Hunt, they know that sometimes they get extra stuff. I like to give away like sometimes between 5 sketches, 9 by 11, or and sometimes you get a tube that you don't expect. Let's just say that. Sometimes you get a little tube that you don't expect. I cannot do it for everybody, but at least usually I go between 5 or 10 people in my campaigns.
Nice.
And
Initially,
I
I
send them
thought
out,
you
yeah.
said you get a little lube you don't expect, and I'm like,
No, you
Hey.
get a tube.
Wow.
Well,
And there's
about
some
that.
little cool stuff in it. Like right now, there's actually some backers of Blood Hunt right now, right? That I have at home. That you remember that the poster where you see Nat sitting in the hand of a robot?
oh yeah, yeah.
They have it. Like I have a copy
Oh,
right here.
badass, dude.
I'll show you.
Nice. That's cool.
You know what time
Like-
slot he's going to be on?
Some people got.
Let me check.
Some people got this. If you see here.
Nope. You got to make it big.
What are you doing,
Hold
Rod?
on one sec. I was looking for something else. Oh yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
people, some backers of Blood Hunt got a tube with this.
Badass.
That's
Nice.
cool, man.
Or some did get this. The cover I did for Valiant.
Oh right. Yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
And some that I knew were like a fan of Star Wars. They got like a Star Wars print that I did of the Luke. So that's what the Luke with the 2 lightsabers, the digital.
Oh
painting.
yeah, right. Nice, man. Yeah,
Cool, man.
that's cool that you guys do that. You just toss some stuff in. It's random. Just that's a really neat surprise that people.
But right now,
I think my-
right now I can tell you that there's 3 concept art, like the cockpit sketch. Somebody's gonna be getting it with the book. I
Nice.
pick it at random. Like I have it on the side there, and I also have the sketch layout of that poster. Somebody's gonna be getting that.
Very cool, dude. Very cool. Gargoyle, anything you want to shout out today before we wrap it up?
Sam, I heard about this new Viking project you're going to be working on pretty soon.
Yeah, the Viking, like the Viking Immortal Brothers called Rune of Ragnar. Yeah, it's in dev.
Sounds gay.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
badass. And no, it's
Yeah.
it's technically a continuation, so
Yeah, nice.
get in on it. It's available on eBay and Amazon right now. And yeah.
Yeah, I know. My work cycle is about to wrap up. I know what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be get that ball rolling as quickly as I can. So that's exciting, man. Thanks to Unhinged Entertainment, Jason. Thank you for being here, sharing your project
having
with
me.
us. Really cool stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks to my panel. Thanks as always to the chat for hanging out.
Holy chat.
If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do so. And do not forget, tonight we're doing the Flash Fiction Writing Contest. Red Gaze is going to be reading those entries in that badass, sexy voice of his. That's going to be a good time. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, this weekend, the 24-hour Comic Jam is going to be awesome. Going to have a great time with that. And with that, I will say goodbye. And we will see you tomorrow on Midday Repartee.